The second Branding for Good conference opened in Johannesburg this week. The conference is aimed at advertisers, marketers and brand owners. Because green is the new black and corporate responsibility is all the rage, companies here want to know what they can do so that they don't get left behind.
I think brand owners have realised that they have got to get involved, but most of them don't actually really know what direction to take. So we've got a collection of speakers, 5 of them from overseas, wonderfully informed people from America, Canada, Britain, France, and then local speakers who are also very high profile, and they're here to discuss what brands can do to do good, and in doing so, to do better business for themselves. You know, this isn't altruism, this is get on board, get some initiatives going, clean up your own business and help other people live more sustainable lives, and you'll do better in business, because gradually people are starting to shun companies and brands that don't show that they're committed to that.
Put into that letter.
Speakers at the conference shared their expertise on what has worked well as how companies can avoid so-called greenwashing.
I think unfortunately what still happens is that many companies wait until the point where they're really under pressure, and you take an example like BP at the moment, who are significantly under pressure. But many companies are getting it. They're understanding that in fact their brand needs to be associated with something more than just a product or a unique selling point. They need to actually be linking into people in a meaningful way, and I think that's really what it's about. And so it's happening, but it's a process, and it'll take years to unfold.
I think that a lot of companies, when they start out, are just trying to make a good name for themselves, and so they want to communicate, and then they very quickly find out that if they're communicating without having fundamentally changed the way they do business, then they're accused of greenwashing, and that's very bad for their image. So the brands that are doing that actually wind up in trouble, and we recommend against that. When we have clients come to us and say, help us communicate, we'll say, well, first, why don't you tell us what you're really doing? But I have no problem with brands that are interested in going into sustainability because they want to build their businesses. I think that brands that are really just doing this to be charitable are not sustainable brands. They need to have a profit motive and want to do something good, and both should go together.
Here, companies were told that business as we know it is unsustainable, and that an attitude of business as usual is a sure way to die.
For me, a corporate, in wanting to create value, needs to really look at their returns. Look at their returns in the short run, but then look at their returns in the long run, and recognize that long run returns are only going to be sustained if the systems that value depends on are enhanced. What are those systems? Those are social systems. Those are people. Those are communities. Those are the customers that walk into your store. Those systems need to be sustained and enhanced. And what sustains social systems are natural systems. So if you're looking to, as a corporate, to focus on really enhancing the way you create value, you've got to look at the balance between your short run and your long run competitiveness.
In South Africa today, the Prime Media Group has taken the lead in doing good and inspiring other South Africans to do the same.
The corporate world has really come to the party. We've been inundated with proposals and ideas, and unfortunately we cannot adopt each and every idea or suggestion. We've adopted a few, and we're trying to see synergy between the other proposals that have come forward. My appeal to the corporate world is continue with the good work. You are leading South Africa, continue to lead South Africa, continue to do the good corporate social investment work that you are doing, whether it's in education or the environment or leadership, whatever the case may be, and we'll then create a better society.
Other corporates have their own social upliftment programs. Nike International have focused on girls. They believe girls have the potential to change the world for good.
It is important for Nike to have the girls effect, because we realize that the power of the girls that they will have in societies, and everyone kind of knows now that girls have enormous power when they are empowered. So the eradication of poverty amongst girls, we know that in the long run it will benefit society at large tremendously. It is actually leaving a legacy, and when you empower a woman, you empower a nation. So it is important then to us as Nike to make sure that we're part and parcel of making sure that girls all over the world, especially in developing countries, are empowered, educated, manage, so that they can manage their own reproductive systems. They can also learn about enterprise development and create their own businesses. And we believe that if we do that well, in the long run, we will have more peace, with more stability.